The Packers and Jordan Love have agreed on a one-year contract extension worth up to $22.5 million, including $13.5 million fully guaranteed. What does this say about the Packers and their commitment to Jordan Love? I think what it says here, Wes, is that he is their franchise quarterback for now. Moving forward,
Yes.
You have to show some sort of commitment beyond this year to your franchise quarterback, and the Packers did what they had to do.
You're not Mr. Right. You're Mr. Right now, Jordan Love. And no, they shouldn't have to show a long-term commitment. No. Prove something. All right, you're finally getting your chance to be the starter. Let's see what you can do.
But on the behalf of the Packers, they have to at least give him one more year. If you're going to be their franchise, you're not going to give him 5 years.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he hasn't proved anything.
Yeah.
You say, hey, you're the guy for the next 2 years,
Exactly.
and then we'll reassess the situation.
Exactly. And look, there's no world beater necessarily in that division. Detroit, barely missed the playoffs. Minnesota, I think, really overachieved. We talked about that all last season. Like, how is this team winning? They're overinflated, because of their record. And then when you'd see these people put out power ratings early in the week from a lot of these national networks, having Minnesota as a top 3 or 4 team just because of their record.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not watching games. They're not looking at numbers. And you don't even have to have an advanced degree in football analytics to, look at some of the Football Outsider numbers and be like, yeah, this team's pretty fraudulent here. So, yeah, and Minnesota, it proved to be so, I think, late in the season. So this is a wide-open division. Chicago's still, trying to get right. Detroit, I don't know how much they improved their defense. They're certainly going to score a lot of points.
Well, Detroit, the Lions going to be in a new role this year, Wes. Favorites.
Right.
Never been in this role.
Right, and are you used to that when you've been the plucky underdog, for seemingly forever? And now all of a sudden, Green Bay, the expectations are low because number 12 is now in New York. By the way, he is back for seconds at the Garden tonight.
He's now number 8, by the way.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers changed to number 8.
He was sitting next to Sauce Gardner tonight.
So here's all you need to know about the Vikings' record being phony, aside from the fact they were blown out in the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
They were 13-4 last season with a point differential of -3.
They won every close game, and that's what they did. And I would look week to week because we would write those capsules on the NFL and then plus do our normal handicapping. Then I'm seeing they're 20th in total team DVOA. And I was like, wait a minute, but, so-and-so on ESPN said they're a number 3 team in the National Football League. And I was like, no way, because you could just look at the numbers. They were getting out-yarded, out-gained every game. They were just getting lucky, and sometimes teams have that. So I'm not sure how good Minnesota is. And by the way, they've got a quarterback on the last year of his contract in Kirk Cousins.
I really thought the Vikings would make a bolder move, maybe for a backup quarterback. We haven't seen that. I don't want to tick off any Vikings fans, by the way. They didn't really get blown out, but they got beat at home by the Giants 31-24 in the playoff game. The win total DraftKings has put up for the Vikings for the 2023-4 season, 8.5.
Yeah, so
that's a team that won 13 games last season.
Yeah, this is a wide open division. I think all of us kind of expect the Bears are going to be at least a little bit improved based on what they added with DJ Moore and making that trade, adding help on the offensive line. Is Justin Fields going to keep developing? We shall see. I mean, I would think you would still pick them last in the NFC North, but they're not a distant last.
Let's take a look at the Packers draft class. Here's a little-known fact, Wes. 12 of the past 13 first-round picks by the Packers have been on the defensive side of the football. Mm-hmm. It's not just perception that the Packers never take a receiver or an offensive player to help their quarterback. It's fact. 12 of the last 13 first-rounders on the defensive side. The first-round pick this year for the Packers, Lucas Van Ness, defensive end from Iowa. Now, I like the pick, and I actually like what the Packers did in the second and third rounds quite a bit. They got 2 tight ends, Luke Musgrave from Oregon State, Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State, and wide receiver Jaden Reed from Michigan State. So, once again, the Packers start to address the offense in the second and third rounds, which is what they always tend to do. And what they did when Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback. You see the up there on the screen, the Packers draft class. That's 13 players. And I think I rated the Packers draft class number 11. Mm-hmm. Not that means everything, but I ranked their draft class 11th best. I think they had a pretty good draft. But they still have a long way to go because Jordan Love, even though he looked good in that game against, it was the Eagles, right?
Yes.
Where he played. Was that a Monday night game last year against the Eagles where Jordan Love played well?
Yes.
He still has, 2 career starts? at this point.
Yeah, the one in remember the one in Kansas
One in
City
Kansas
where they
City
scored really, really late to
Yeah.
get inside that big number. I think it was like 13-0.
And he really didn't show much in that
No,
game.
he did not.
But I thought he played well in Philadelphia. So the Packers still have a long way to go. By the way, the win total DraftKings put up for the Packers, 7.5. And that's shaded under -150, so it's more like 7.25.
Yeah. This is going to be an even division, though. I don't think that there's a runaway favorite here at all.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.